Cauley-Stein, former National Player of the Year. How's that feel to be introduced as that?
Pretty crazy.
It is. I mean, like that's that's the amount of how many National Players of the Year have we had here? We have not had many.
Oh, only like 4 or 5. I
mean,
think,
you have what? Who all won it? Anthony Davis.
Wall
got one of them.
Wall got one, but he didn't get all of them.
Did Oscar get one?
Oscar got one.
I believe you're right.
Did anybody? Who got him before Wall? Anyone?
Did Kenny Walker get it one year? I'm not really sure.
So I mean, like that's pretty amazing company.
Oh, it's great. Feels good.
Yeah, you got to love being in that group.
Yeah, what? That's what it was about.
So you part of the 2015 team. I was just saying that I think it's, along with the 96 team, the best team here. Make the case for the 2015 team as the best of all time, because I think you believe it.
Yeah. I mean, I just think with the amount of guys we had, I mean, even like our 10th and 11th guy, or off the bench, like they could go somewhere else and start probably.
I mean, Derek Wilson, Dominique Hawkins didn't play.
Yeah, and they're starters somewhere else.
Yeah,
so like,
I mean, those.
I don't know. So when you look at it like that, it's just there's just too much talent, and I don't think probably 80% of us got to tap into our whole talent.
What were those practices like every day? Did you get to the point that you didn't want to see Dakari Johnson ever again? Because you practice against him like every day, right?
Yeah, Cat had to guard Dakari. I didn't really have to guard him too much. I was guarding Marcus.
Yeah, put your microphone up there, Nick. There you go. Okay, you guard Marcus Lee.
Yeah, I was guarding Marcus, and Cat had to guard Dakari. So yeah, them two bodies got to clash against each other a lot.
What was the moment that year that you knew, like, this is going to be special? Like, this is a special team?
Probably the summer, like when the new guys came in after, like, we had been there already, you know what I mean? And, I mean, the first, like, 3 weeks of practicing and, like, playing pickup, like, we were fighting. It was just fight, it was like the twins versus Book and Tyler and,
I always got the sense, you tell me if this is right, the twins versus Booker and Tyler, everybody liked each other, but there was something there, right?
After the fact, everybody liked each other. At first, I don't think that was the case. I mean, they weren't supposed to be here. You know what I mean? Like, it got, like, over pushed. Like, twins should have left, Book and Tyler come up. That's how it goes. That's how it's, like, recruited here. So when we all come back, it kind of, like, stacks it up. So now it's you create a little competition. It's where it's, more times than not, it's given to you. Now it's like you got a competition where, like, well, these guys already proved this. Like, we can't just slide them out. You kind of had a battle for it. So I think they set it up for the battle.
Did you – I mean, during the year, everybody said the right things about the platoon. In the moment, did you all like it or not?
I think in the beginning we didn't like it. But then once we started just running people out the gym, like, they were tired by the time, you know what I mean? We're, like, still like, Coach, can I please go back in? Because, like, you're not tired. And so once we kind of got, like, 5-6 games in of playing it like that, then it was like, okay, we see the benefit in what we're doing.
Well, let me take a step back. I like to go through people's careers. So you came in here. How many times, Ryan, did we hear he played wide receiver in high school?
Probably every single game. Every single game.
For 3 years.
Yeah.
Did you – I mean, you don't see the TV broadcast, but did you know, like, that was said about you every single game?
Yeah. No, I get on Twitter afterwards, and it's on there.
Did you – so you did play wide receiver in high school. Were you good?
It was great.
You'd be hard to cover at 6'11".
Yeah, they would try everything. Triple coverages, double coverages, put a linebacker on me off the line. But the linebacker's, like, littler than me, so.
So you came here your freshman year, didn't play a ton, backed up Nerlens, and then he gets hurt, and so you play a little bit more. When you came here, what was the amount of time you thought you were going to say? You didn't think you were a one and done when you came, did you?
Bro, when I came here, I was just coming for the ride, bro. I didn't really have an expectation of what it was going to be like. I mean, that's why I came, was because they said you would be, like a one and done or have a chance to go to the league quick. So that's why I came. But as soon as I got here, I didn't know it was going to be like that. I mean, like, as soon as I signed, I was already like top 15 on the board, and I hadn't even played a game yet. And I was like, How the hell?
Yeah.
How's that make sense? But
So the first year, there's the struggles end up in the NIT. Second year, everybody remembers the run. But during the regular season, that 2014 team, there were a lot of struggles that year too. And, I mean, you guys played a lot of close games on the road where you would lose right at the end.
Yeah.
Did you during that time feel like, though, there's still something else with this group?
oh yeah, I mean, at that particular year, I mean, we were still putting it together. So when people kind of ask about it, it's like I think people think that we were because we were the 8 seed.
Yes.
Like we were better than the 8 seed. I think we just got kind of hoed on it, and just because who we are, you know what I mean? And like,
well, Wichita State is the one that ended up getting screwed on it because they were undefeated and had to play you guys in the second round.
but we're the 8 seed. What do you mean?
What? They were a 1. I'm just saying, like, they shouldn't have had to play you.
But why? We're the 8 seed.
I know, but like,
So you're saying we're better than
you
we
were better than an 8 seed, and I think that hurt them in some ways.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's go to that game. It's an often forgotten game. That's one of the best. Don't you agree? That's one of the best college basketball games I've ever seen.
It was awesome. It was great. Big shot after big shot.
And they had a lot of NBA talent.
Yeah, Baker and
Fred
Van Fleet, Cleanthony Early, who didn't, I don't think, play in the NBA, but was a great college.
He did
Yeah.
play.
He did play?
He ended up getting shot. The Knicks got shot in the leg.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a bummer. I'm so sorry to hear that. But that game, that was one of the most awesome in-the-moment games I can remember.
Crazy. Well, for me, for sure, because I'm from Kansas, so I got to play K-State, and then to get into that game, play Wichita, and it was different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then, game against Louisville in Indianapolis. Louisville's coming off a national championship. We had won one 2 years ago. It was like the rubber match. I tell you personally, I've never been more nervous about a game in my life. I almost got I got spit on. The woman tried to throw up on me. Like, it was one of the wildest.
Y'all stay getting punched on.
No. This was during a pregame show. These people were coming up to him during the pregame show and giving him the
Well,
the
they
one finger
accidentally,
salute.
Willie, they accidentally booked my pregame show at a Louisville pregame party.
Oh yeah.
And I just decided to talk trash, and a woman tried to throw up on me. But that game, what was it like to be in it?
Man, it was. I mean, anytime you get to play in a rivalry game, it's legendary. So like the fact that I've got to play in like 6 of them with them. So, I mean, I broke my ankle that game, so that's all I really remember. In the last shots.
Yeah, you didn't. That Marcus Lee had to come in there, and that's when he had played
Yeah.
really well against Michigan and Wisconsin.
Yep.
All right, so get to 2015. Did you come back because you broke your ankle?
Yeah.
If you hadn't broken your ankle, would you have left?
I was gone. Yeah, I was out of here.
So, I mean, I want to say a blessing in disguise.
Oh, it was though.
Was it?
Oh yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because I still don't think I was ready to go, but I was gonna go just because of when we went to the ship. Like, what else can you do better besides winning it? So, I mean, the draft boards look good. Like, everything was good. So, like, if we would have won it, I probably definitely would have won.
Were you bummed out that you had to come back? I mean, there's got to be a part of it that's like, oh, I was so close.
I wasn't bummed just because I was hurt. So it just made it like oh, I have so much stuff that I want to get done. And like I remember laying in the hospital bed after the surgery and like talking to my boy Rex and was like, man, I got like so many accolades. I haven't won. I've never won anything. Like I think I want to go back to school and do it. And then like fast forward, we got all the accolades. And
All right, so before you did that, we go to the Bahamas.
that was a good trip.
All right, I mean, we might as well just talk about that
Yeah,
trip.
what?
I mean, first of all,
10 years ago.
you guys had fun on that trip. I mean, that wasn't just a basketball trip. You guys had fun, and I'm not sure anyone had more fun than you.
I was
Like
on
you,
vacation.
you were at the clubs, you were at the bars. I mean, how did you look at that trip?
I was hurt. So, I had like a morning workout, and then I was done for the rest of the day. I got to watch good basketball, and I was with all the boosters all day and just
Yeah, you
doing
were
my
with
thing.
all the boosters. That's one way to put it. Yeah, you were.
just chilling, meeting people. It was a good time.
Yeah, I can remember I would go to bed, And my friends that stayed out later, including this one, that would be when they would see you show up.
I was going to show Willie some pictures and say, do you remember this moment? But we won't do that on radio. We'll do that after the show.
I don't want to go into the details on the morning show. This might be an uncensored podcast, but we have hinted over the years at the moment at the pool after you all did the ice bucket challenge. Do you remember you did the ice bucket challenge?
Yeah.
And do you remember you walked back to the pool? Do you remember what was going on at the pool when you showed up?
Some people not in the UK party were having a very good time.
Yeah, maybe there was some dancing going on in the middle of the pool, and Cal and those guys ran off. Do you remember that?
Actually, I do now.
Yeah, you don't see that at a lot of pools.
No. No, not those. Not that type of pool.
not that type of pool. But that group, it did strike me that Bahamas trip did kind of bring you guys together. By the end of the trip, you all seem to have a much bigger connection maybe than you did before. Do you agree with that?
I think so. I mean, we had a lot of downtime too where, we were going parasailing and on the beach, riding jet skis, and just kind of like he took us out on the boat and got to, snorkel and do all types of stuff where we're just all together. I think that's one thing Cal does a really good job of is like putting you in situations where you have to be around each other. Like we have these Tempur-Pedic beds and we're going to go sleep on this floor instead of sleeping in these Tempur-Pedic beds. You know what I mean? Like it's like stuff like that. Like he just make you be together.
Yeah. Well, I want to come back to 2015, but let me talk about Cal for a second. When you hear Calipari is going to Arkansas, what is your thought at that moment?
Damn. Yeah, like damn. It was unexpected. I think I woke up to it, but I get it. I get it at the same time. Like, stuff is stagnant. People need change. People need change to keep things moving fresh. And so I think it was a situation here where like, okay, we're good, but we're not as good as we need to be, and gotta make a change. And I think it's mutual.
Yeah, I actually thought it was best for both parties for that to happen. Did you? I always worried about how the former players saw it because we're here every day. I think we knew Cal needed a change. I think we knew we as fans needed a change. How did former players see it? Could you feel that needed to happen?
Yeah. I mean, you can just tell. I mean, especially with the new the way college is now with the NIL, we come from an era of we had to scheme the how to get away with stuff like that. You know what I mean? And now you don't have to do that. And now it's does Kentucky want to fund into that? Well, it didn't look like it. So I feel like there's a.
But did you? I mean, I will just say, and I thought he changed a little bit in the last few years.
I think he got complacent a little bit. Like when I was here, I feel like it was intense, and then you come back, and then the way he talks to the kids is well, you didn't talk to us like that.
Is that right? Could you see a difference? Maybe not as
it was he was a little softer. It wasn't with us, man. He was. Ask Alex, bro. Alex got the worst of it. I feel so. I don't see when I was here seeing that. I don't feel like anybody else got that type of.
Why did you think Alex got the worst of it? I always thought Alex got the worst of it too. Why do you think that was true?
Because he's just so big. He was supposed to, he was a big guard and a beast. So, but also a very, kind, human, spirited person. So I think Cal was just trying to bring out that monster out of him. I don't think that's who he is. And so, trying to bring that out just made him kind of put him in a lower spot.
Do you cheer? Well, on February 1st, Kentucky's going to play Arkansas right down there. Are you going to cheer for Kentucky?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm just making sure. But do you cheer for Arkansas when they don't play Kentucky?
No. No, I don't. I watch, but I ain't. No.
Yeah.
I'm not. No.
You're a Kentucky guy. I love it.
Have you been there yet, or have any intentions? At least check in. I know some former players have, at least from UK, gone and said hi to Cal there. Have you made that trip
Arkansas?
yet? Yeah.
I've made the trip. I mean, it's right around the corner. My wife, she went to school there and stuff, and she wants to go, but I'm like.
Have you met Mark Pope?
Yeah.
Okay. How's that go?
Mark's nice. I like him. I enjoyed the whole coaching staff. It was cool when we were here. They took care of us too. So I mean, I like what they got going on.
Tell me about Stockton Mortgage.
Stockton Mortgage. Our friends at Stockton Mortgage make home ownership happen. And Tim can attest. Here's what he had to say. We had originally tried to finance our new home with our old lender, but after 6 weeks of very little action, we were suggested to try Stockton Mortgage. We followed that advice, and immediately things began to happen. The service we were given was truly amazing. We closed on our house and are so pleased with our experience with Stockton Mortgage. Take it from Tim and get started today at Stockton.com. Stockton Mortgage, NMLS 8259, Equal Housing Lender.
Show Mario. Can you show Mario?
No, I can show Mario, but not with the camera.
Okay,
there.
there's a great picture of you
We
and
had
Willie
fun in the
from
Bahamas.
That's
that was
right.
the Bahamas.
That was the Bahamas. By the way, Vince Merrill just wrote me. He must be listening in. He said, I saw Willie play football. I was at Nebraska watching him. He was a great football player.
Great.
There you go.
Yeah.
Vince Merrill, the recruiter, giving you the thumbs up.
Oh, that's a blessing.
We'll take a break. Be right back. This is Kentucky Sports Radio. Welcome back. It is Kentucky Sports Radio. One of Willie's big fans just walked in here. Willie, you got fans left and right all over the place.
It's a blessing.
Really, it's got to be awesome. I mean, one of the things you get to do that these players get to do, I know you have a big heart. What is it like to see the effect you have on just regular everyday fans?
I don't think you really realize it until it happens, But it's good,
You're getting emotional thinking about it.
Yeah. Because you don't feel it all the time. So when you come here, it's you feel it all the time.
DeMarcus Cousins used to say, look, I went to the NBA. It was great, made a lot of money, but my favorite year was my year here. There's a way people embrace you here that just doesn't happen, right, anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I think they see you for who you are, not just a basketball player or what you do for the school. They see who you really are. That's big time. In
2000, was it 14 or 15, the drawing on the sidewalk thing? Do you remember
the
that?
sidewalk chalk?
Yeah, so I think it was 2014. At the SEC tournament, they did these profiles of the big player on every team. And I remember you guys were about to play Florida, and Patrick Young was their really good player. And it said Patrick Young, they were like, in his spare time, he goes out and he chops wood. And they showed him with an axe and all this. And you all were about to play him. And then they showed you, and they were like, for Kentucky, Willie Cauley-Stein. In his spare time, he likes to go out on the sidewalk and do sidewalk art with chalk. And I was like, oh,
That's how they did me.
Yeah.
That's good out here chopping
They had
wood.
Patrick Young chopping wood and you drawing on the sidewalk with chalk.
Wow.
They did you bad on that one,
They
Willie.
did me dirty for sure.
Did you actually do that, though?
Yeah, that was a art contest that I did in high school. I had to do sidewalk.
Yeah, they did you dirty on that one, though.
Yeah, they
as well.
did.
Yeah, what about him dunking on Florida? Not
they didn't-
coloring the sidewalk.
Okay, so we were talking during the break about dunks. Is that Florida dunk your best dunk?
It's one of them.
What's the best dunk?
In college?
Yes.
I don't know, man. That's the one that we see all the time. I'm sure there's some other ones that are.
Cincinnati
Actually,
dunk.
Auburn one my freshman year was pretty crazy too. I got a little pitch from James Young at the 3-point line, and everybody's like, "What the hell did he catch it at the 3-point line for?" And I'm just looking "Oh, nobody's guarding me." One dribble, boom, and I was like, "Oh, that was fun."
Now,
I think I want it out there all the time.
2015, I'm going to give you some moments I remember, get your quick take on. First of all, when you all nearly held UCLA scoreless in the CBS Classic. Maybe the best defensive performance in the first half I've ever seen a team have.
Agreed.
They couldn't even get shots off.
Yeah, they were flustered.
And that team went to the Sweet 16.
No,
they
they
ended up being a pretty good team.
I mean, they were good then. They just not for us.
Was that one of them where in the locker room you're like, oh, wow, we're good?
I actually feel bad for them because, it was just the timing that we played them. We had been going crazy, either playing against each other and then we were, playing in that little thing, and then it's, Christmas break. So it's once this game is over, we're all getting on the plane going home. So it was let's just finish this game so we can go home.
Did you start to feel the weight of the undefeated? Was there a pressure on that group during SEC play?
No, I think the pressure didn't happen until after when we were first going in. I feel like that's when we were hearing it the most. During the SEC, it was whatever. But once that was over and we were going into the tournament, then it was like a different type of pressure because now everybody's in the same boat, but now it's like, are you going to go undefeated and win this? That's different than just like, going undefeated in the tournament and then you win it. But it's like, as the whole, you start thinking as the whole at that point. Like,
there's an argument fans have sometimes, which is there's this argument that there are people who wanted you to lose a game because they go back to 96 and 2012, two great teams. I think along with 2015, those are the great teams of my lifetime. They both lost in the SEC tournament finals and then won the title. And there have been people who said, I wish they would have lost. Do you think it would have helped you to lose? I always argue no, but maybe I'm wrong. Do you think it would have helped you to lose?
I don't think. What's the difference?
I agree.
You just lost. now you lost.
But you don't think like that would have helped as the tournament went on?
Well, no, because so you lose and then you still. It's one game at a time. Like you lose again and you're over. Like you win. So it's regardless. We put the pressure on ourselves. The pressure was gone because the only way it mattered was to lose in the SEC, right?
Yeah.
So after that's over, everybody has to go undefeated now.
That's a really good point.
You know what I mean? So, like, we lose, all right, so you lost. But
I thought the only team going into the tournament, the only team I thought had a chance to beat you all was Wisconsin, just because of the way they played.
Matchup.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
So, I know you don't want to think about it, but tell me about that game.
I mean, they just got it. They got us on a night that, like, we hadn't been in a position like that where – we're necessarily down in the last few minutes of a game. And, like, we're used to putting pressure on other people on that side of the things. And our last 3 possessions, we had 2 shot clock violations and an air ball. Like,
doesn't happen.
That hadn't happened the whole year.
And they had a shot. That was a shot clock violation.
It was a shot clock violation.
Yeah. They should have called it, Ryan.
Should have called it. They didn't call it.
Still makes me mad.
It still makes everybody mad when you think about it.
And, I'm friends with Big Cat, and he's Sam Decker's friend. I still hate Sam Decker. It was rude of him to win that game, Willie. You all should have been undefeated.
We should have.
It was rude. We'll text one person writes, Matt, I was here on campus when Willie was on his visit in the Hyatt lobby. I went up and asked for a picture, and he said, why do you want my picture? I don't think he realized what he was getting into. Is that possible?
Yeah, I did not.
Did you have any idea what you were walking into when you came to Lexington?
No. I'm from Kansas, man. I didn't even know what Kentucky basketball was. So before, like, Cal and them actually came to my house, I'm a Kansas kid.
So when you walk on campus and all of a sudden people are just coming up to you and wanting pictures and all that, is it just like it's got to be a crazy change, isn't it?
For the better. Yeah, for the better. I don't know. You just realize how much impact you can have on people. So, like, you got to just – I don't know. There's a couple ways you can take it. You can either be like the asshole or you can be like the guy that sits out here for 2 hours and sign everybody's autographs. I feel like that's the route that I took.
And you've always been like that. I mean, that's one of the things I appreciate about you is that you, throughout the time, you seem to be like, I'm going to talk to these people.
I get it. I'm a small town kid, so, like, I understand. Like, I was that kid that was standing outside of a Dye City Legends game trying to get an autograph from a semi-pro guy.
Is that right? You would go to G League games trying to get –
It wasn't even G League at that time. You know what I mean?
Really?
This is, like, below that.
Wow.
In Southwest Kansas
There's
somewhere.
a young woman here who you met when you were at UK when she was like a child, and she's come to see you again. How does that make you feel?
I think those are the craziest ones. Like, now when I come back, it'd be like all the students were children, and they're like, oh, yeah, you signed my iPhone 5. And I'm like, iPhone 5? Sheesh.
I mean, wait till you get to do it as long as I have when people are like, my dad used to come watch you when he was in college. And you're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild.
And I look in the mirror and I'm like, well, I don't feel like that old.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I feel like I changed that much. And I'm like looking, they're like grown.
Yes.
Grown.
One person writes, Matt, I think Willie had the best death stare I've ever seen. Does he remember the death stare he gave Montrezl Harrell during the Louisville game?
Yeah, it's hard to get past that one. that one gets shown every year too.
That was pretty good. He went flying. You remember that, Ryan?
Every year Louisville comes into Rupp Arena, that video is on the intro video.
It's like the
every
Tyler
year.
Ulis blood thing.
I mean, same game.
It was the same game.
Literally same game.
That's right. One person writes, ask Willie what his favorite thing about Calipari was. What was your favorite thing about Calipari?
I just like the way like he empowers us to be who we are, but then like shows us like how to like use that after ball. Mm-hmm. So like a lot of the stuff that I learned from Cal had nothing to do with basketball. I mean, it was just more like how to carry yourself off the floor and like you're a brand and how to make money after this and like how to set up your family. Like we're in a position to stop generational curses and stuff like that. So I mean, I like really paid attention to that type of stuff.
Yeah. One person writes, ask Willie, of all the Cal big men, where does he think he ranks? Boy, that's a tough question for you. All right, so just for your time at Kentucky, not what happens in the NBA. If I'm thinking about, let's just go through the various really good big men here. Start with, you had DeMarcus, Jorts, Nerlens, Anthony Davis, you, Carl, Oscar. Who else? Who am I missing? Bam. That's a really good one.
Julius Randle. You play with a lot of these guys. Willie, you're sitting there and you're going, all right, where do you put yourself in that list?
Shoot, top 3, not 3.
Yeah.
Top 3, not 3.
Top 3, not 3. So let me, if I were going to put your list just at UK, okay, not what happens after UK, I think it's the top 4 to me in some order is AD, DeMarcus, Oscar, U. I think that's the top 4 at UK. Come on, man. You can be a broadcaster. Rank those 4 for me.
I mean, what do the accolades say? What do the numbers say?
Well, the numbers would probably put you 2.
But the accolades may put him 1.
Yeah. Well, Anthony had similar accolades.
Yeah, Anthony and him.
He got the chip. We'll put Anthony first, just because he got a chip.
So you're going to put you second?
I'm second for sure. What I got?
All right, I like
National Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year.
That's it.
Consensus first-team All-American?
Yes.
Come on.
When you sweep National Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Conference Player of the Year, Conference Defensive Player of the Year.
SEC Tournament Player of the Year. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Also, two-sport star on that list. No other wide receivers other than Willie. I think that also gives him a bump.
Yeah, I don't think there were any other wide receivers.
I'm just saying, Matt. There's a lot of things that's kind of going my way to bump
I
me
agree.
up there.
I mean, if you look at the accolades, I don't think there's any debate. We've talked about
I feel
this
like
on the
it's
show.
retirement worthy.
Dude,
Put 'em in
you're
the
getting where I'm
rafters.
going. If you're just looking at the accolades, your jersey should be up there one day because there is no one, Ryan.
That's correct.
I mean, the
Absolutely.
amount of people that have those accolades is on one hand. Wouldn't you agree?
There's no doubt about it. You put that just based on what he did here, the accolades he received after his junior year, it's a no-brainer that he gets his jersey retired.
I agree.
And he gets a bump for being here longer.
I've been wondering the same thing. I've been here for 3 years.
Also,
And I'm about to graduate.
all SEC
Oh, wait a minute.
freshmen.
Hang on. You're about to graduate.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Came back. I got like another semester left. I'm spring semester. Actually, after this, I'm going on campus. I got a couple classes I got to start doing.
Why was that important to you?
I mean, I'm done with, playing, but I want to get into coaching, and so to coach, you gotta have a degree.
So you want to be a coach?
Yeah.
What do you you were going to start that next year? You hope on the college level?
Nah, I think I want to do high school.
High school?
Yeah.
Why?
I think I could like serve the kids better, like young adults moving into that college level.
I've always felt like probably more uniquely than any player that has played here since I've done it. You have, and you feel free to correct me, an artistic personality, a very you have a huge heart. It's not your typical basketball player way of looking at the world. That's hard for me to really describe.
No, you hit it on the head.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
I think it just goes like you see my grandparents. You guys met them. Like that was my parents. So like I was raised in that type of small town environment. They never in probably their whole life thought they would come to Kentucky and watch their son play and move on to the NBA and stuff like that. So I don't know with that type of you don't know like and it was like a gift for all of us. I don't know, you carry that with you. So like it's all a gift. So like I got to learn a lot doing that, and I just feel like there's a lot of like kids that are like me that I could like share that too. So that's why I feel like the high school level would be fun.
I think you said to me once that you tended to gravitate towards people kind of left out a little bit. I remember you saying to me in one of the interviews a long time ago that you kind of look for the kid that's off to the side by himself or herself. Is that right?
Yeah. I feel like I was that person. Like I was just tall, so I was in the back, you know what I mean? But like you always wanted to be in the front. You always wanted to dance around and stuff, but like you never, so for some reason you never did. And so like I look for that. I look for those type of people that you really know that they want to be in the mix, but are like either too embarrassed or, don't know themselves like that or haven't learned themselves like that to like put themselves in that position. So like sometimes you got to force them in that role.
You've traveled the world a little bit with basketball. Where all have you been?
It's taken me far. I don't know. Like when I played in Italy, man, we got to play in like a different country every other day. So passport got stamps. A lot of stamps on that passport.
What town did you play for in Italy?
Varese.
Oh, okay.
It's like 45 minutes from Milan, which Alex was actually playing there at the time.
Wow. So you were in Milan. Did you get into fashion and all that stuff when you were there?
I didn't. I wasn't there long enough, honestly. So it was nice there, though.
You probably stuck out a little bit there,
just
too.
A little bit.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. All right, so
I was also riding a motorcycle around.
Like one of those little Cal Vespas?
No, like a motor, like
a real motor,
like a Harley rocket. No,
crotch rocket.
Yeah. C4 moto.
Okay, all right. Well, that's
I was zooming.
So when you watch Kentucky? You were here for the game. What do you think about this Kentucky team?
I like them, man. I mean, we can score. I feel like even in the SEC period, like I ain't never seen so many like good teams in the SEC. You like watch, they're like looking at their records as they pop up, and everybody got like 12 wins.
League's a lot better than when you were in it.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys would have like three or four,
probably like 5 teams that were, I think at one point, I mean, we had like us, Tennessee,
Florida.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all in the Elite 8 at one point. There was like 3 or 4 SEC teams, and it was. I mean, I thought that was crazy. But like seeing it this year, I mean, I was like, we're the power conference.
Oh,
without
for
question,
sure, right?
No doubt.
Without question.
But everybody's scoring almost 100 points, and nobody's playing defense. So,
Yeah, they don't play defense.
so
quite
whoever decides to play defense is going to win it for sure.
Well, hopefully that's us. Willie, I want to thank you very much for coming in tonight. You're always generous with your time. Last thing before you go, how crazy was the TBT tournament in Louisville?
It was fun. It was fun. I mean, I've never played at Freedom Hall either, so it was like literally like a first for me. And
You saw he got punched.
I know, and I mean, he got a crazy video.
Got a lot going on there. You running it back next year?
Yeah, I'm running it back for sure.
That was great. I love that you guys still fight with the Louisville people 10 years later.
It's them, not us.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's them.
Thank you.
It's them.
It's not you. You're not a fighter.
Never.
Yeah, I like it. Well, Willie, thank you very much. Thanks for being generous with your time here and with all these folks. Everybody give a round of applause to our man here,
I appreciate you.
Willie Cauley-Stein. We're going to take a break and come back. Final segment. This is Kentucky Sports Radio.